And when Gunther's chopping me in front of my kids and saying, "Is that your dad?" It stops becoming funny. Well, after all that bullshit, we get something good. It is a Gunther video package. The whole night has been focused on Gunther's historical reign. He could potentially be the longest reigning Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of all time, breaking Honky Tonk's record. And they've been sprinkling in pictures of past champions like Shawn Michaels, Razor, Roman, Stone Cold,
Bret Hart,
Mr.
Perfect,
Mr. Perfect, of course, Honky Tonk Man. That was nice.
Macho Man. Oh yeah,
oh yeah. Yeah, so that was good for nostalgia. Ultimate Warrior. There was somebody that had the IC belt that I didn't realize that they had, but I can't remember who it was now. So I don't even know why I brought that up.
Cody. There was was it Jinder Mahal?
Maybe.
I think they showed him.
I don't know.
I noticed they didn't show
JEFF,
JARRETT, or they didn't show Gold Dust. I wonder why. And they should have showed Gold Dust because he's probably one of the more pivotal IC champions of all time. He's one of the more memorable ones. Like his story with like Ahmed Johnson.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
It was like kissing him and then Ahmed wanting to kill him.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll buy that. So yeah, we're celebrating Gunther's reign. And Gunther starts off this video package by speaking some German. I wish they had subtitles. That'd be nice. Gunther says, Chad Gable thinks he can stand in the way of me and my legacy. Who do you think you are? Tonight, history will be made, but someone like you does not belong in the history books. I do. Your little fairy tale story is temporary. My legacy will be forever. And tonight, after the final bell rings, I will go down as the greatest, longest reigning Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion in history. And it was great. It was Gunther with the white backdrop, with his little trench coat on. It's Gunther. It's fucking awesome. And I think he's better when he's doing the kind of UFC promo style, where it's basically video packages.
Yeah.
When he's going back and forth, I mean, it works for him, but I think it's better when he has time to say the shit he needs to say.
Yeah.
But, yep, looking forward to the main event. Okay. Set your dicks to petrified. No homo. We have Gable versus Gunther. This is our main event. This is what we've been building up. This is what Raw has kind of been focused on all night. Can Gable finally strip the ring general of his Intercontinental title? Or will Gunther become the longest reigning Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion? We're going to find out. And I got to say, right off the bat, this is one of those matches that you just set aside the notes and just watch it. Just soak it in. And what I appreciated is that neither man had anyone in their corner. I shudder to think how tainted this match would be with, oh yeah, sprinkled all throughout. Right off the bat, Gunther, he used his size to his advantage. Of course, Gable had to use, unconventional methods to gain an advantage. Like there's a part where they're wrestling. Gunther's out wrestling Gable, not because he's a better wrestler per se, but because he's bigger and he's got the strength. So then Gable, he jumps out of the ring. Naturally, Gunther, he has the advantage. He chases after Gable. Gable slides back into the ring. So Gunther, he tries to get in the ring and Gable drop kicks him back onto the floor. Gunther, a little shocked, he tries to get back in the ring again. Gable drop kicks him back. This pisses off Gunther. So, he did little shit like that. He wasn't going to necessarily win by I don't want to say fair fight, but he wasn't going to win by just a traditional wrestling match.
He's got to use his quickness, as they say.
Yeah, both guys, they laid it in. There was a kick that Gunther threw, and they even did like a slow motion replay where it just looked like Gunther's foot just decimated Gable's face. My favorite part about Gunther is that he doesn't just sit there and take a bunch of moves like I see a lot of guys do. Like they'll just kind of stand there and just wince. Gunther will take it a couple of times and then he'll just like scoop slam him or clothesline him, or he'll stop that shit real quick. And then just like throughout the feud, it became a story of, can Gunther beat Gable, and what does he have to do so? We know that he can beat Gable up. He's done that very efficiently the first time they wrestled, the second time they wrestled, and now. But what does he have to do to finally just keep Gable's shoulders on the mat? Gable does a lot of beautiful ankle lock counters. My favorite was Gable gets Gunther in the ankle lock, and then Gunther just powers out of it, and he turns it into a power bomb. And then Gable then turns that into a Hurricane Rana outside the ring.
Yeah, counter after counter.
Counter after counter. It was awesome. And it was great because you would think that, okay, finally Gunther's putting him away, and then Gable would just have one last burst of energy, or he's just not done fighting. He's a scrappy little motherfucker. So then Gable hits Gunther with a German suplex outside the ring, and he has to drag Gunther back into the ring. And referee is about, 6'7", and at the 9 count, Gable is able to slide into the ring. And as he slides in, Gunther grabs Gable and he turns into a powerbomb for a 2 count. And then Gable, he finally nails the Chaos Theory, but Gunther kicks out at 2.5. At this point, the crowd is so behind Gable. They want to see Gunther lose. There's a part where he gets Gunther in an ankle lock, and Gunther's trying to crawl to the ropes, and then Gable just drags Gunther into the middle of the ring, and then he does the vine. And it looks like this is it. It's over.
Yeah, he's taking him to his limit.
So then I like how they did it, because it looked like Gable had him in the vine, but then he had to reposition his grip or something. But then Gunther took that opportunity to just muscle out of it. So then Gunther gets a sleeper hold, much to the disappointment of the crowd on Gable. And then Gable turns it into a pin attempt to force Gunther to break the sleeper hold. Gunther breaks the sleeper hold, only to get Gable into another sleeper hold, which he turns into a suplex. He just dumped Gable on his fucking head.
Yeah, then, like a back suplex without him falling.
Yeah, I saw him do it in the Ilya match. I think they had a couple of matches. There was one match where they had where he did that. So then Gunther, he hits a power bomb, and then it just this giant ass lariat. And the longest reigning Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of all time is now Gunther. After the match, Gunther, he puts on his title, and then he turns to look at Gable. And then if you really pay attention, he gives just a slight nod of respect to Gable. And then he just leaves to do whatever it is that awesome people do.
His legacy.
And then they cut to Gable's kids crying.
Yep. Heartbroken.
Or at least pretending to cry. I didn't see a lot of tears.
Well, they got
Yeah.
She is 10.
This was awesome. It was every bit of great that I thought it would be. Instant match of the year contender. And I would say that this match alone is better than the entire Payback pay-per-view.
Even over Becky and Trish?
Especially over Becky and Trish.
I don't know. You got a lot of people liking that one.
Anything to add with Gunther?
I don't have anything to add to the match. It was a great match.
Okay.
Match of the year candidate, which got me to thinking maybe we have to make a TV match of the year and then a pay-per-view match of the year, like 2 separate match of the years,
right,
put it up against a pay-per-view match because of the commercials.
If we were voting today, I would think that this would be the match of the year for me, regardless of the setting. Now, obviously, it's not the end of the year yet, and there's a lot of wrestling to go.
Yeah.
But personally, this is the match of the year for me. Just the build-up, the whole story where it started off with the 5-minute challenge, and then Gable finally got the win, and then now it's like, well, shit, last time they wrestled, Gable won. Gunther hasn't really been as dominant in this feud as he has in the other feuds. Without winning, Gable has kind of had his number. And just the build-up with the rain, and yeah, it's been great. It's been fun to watch. And I don't know if you saw it, but Gable gave a hell of a promo on the WWE.com thing. I don't know what they call it.
No, I didn't see it, but yeah, it's
man,
just after the air.
So he's unwrapping, and it looks like he's in the little medical area. And the guy asks him, he's like, I know you just had a long match, but do you want to share your thoughts? Gable basically says that amateur wrestling has taught him to not only be in the big moments, but not succumb to them. So always show up for them. And amateur wrestling has also taught him how to handle when those big moments don't go his way. And he said, around here, we like to have fun. We like to do the thank you and the shushes. That's fun. It's fun to play around with. But ultimately, I have a legacy to protect in the WWE. And when Gunther's chopping me in front of my kids and saying, "Is that your dad?" it stops becoming fun. It stops becoming fun. So on myself, on my career, this isn't the end. And you know what? I want Gunther to keep the belt for as long as it takes for me to get a rematch with him. And I swear to God, I am taking the championship from Gunther. I didn't do it justice. It was a fucking great promo. The way Gable addressed the shushes and the thank yous. Oh my, if he just sheds it and then Kool-Aid Man and Model Girl, they can be their own thing. And Gable can just be a fucking wrestler.
Strip away all his entertainment and just wrestle.
The entertainment is the wrestling.
Sports entertainment.
Yeah, take away the shit and have good stuff. Yeah. And yeah, Gunther versus Gable 3. I'm all for it. And now Gable's been kind of built up. Like, yeah, maybe he can beat Gunther now.
Well, it's gonna see. I don't think Gunther has a title defense at Fastlane. Maybe he does. And then if so, then it would have to be Gable because they don't have time.
Not necessarily.
Unless they just do like a tournament for, the next competitor.
Yeah, you can move away from Gable for a while and then come back to that. Gunther can literally have the belt until Gable earns a rematch. And that can be, whenever. Maybe WrestleMania.
It's got to be before then.
But you think he's wrestling Rollins? Is that where you're going?
I think he's wrestling Rollins. I think he's main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania.
Okay. I don't think he's there yet. I think they're still stuck on the Judgment Day, unfortunately.
To main event night 1 of WrestleMania? Rollins is going to have a marquee match. You think it's going to be someone in the Judgment Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
They think the Judgment Day is marquee.